Hello and welcome to episode 2 of our YouTube series High Frequency Trading, a Complete Guide. In episode 1, we introduced the world of HFT, its emergence, history, and why it is so important in today's market. In this episode, we will cover what is HFT and how it works. We will decode the core principles, architecture, and workflow of high frequency trading with real world examples and mathematical insights. Whether you are a trader, developer, or researcher, this video is a must watch. So what is high frequency trading? High frequency trading or HFT is a type of algorithmic trading where computers execute thousands or even millions of trades in fraction of a second. The goal is very simple. Capture the small price difference, often just a few cents or even fraction of a cent, and scale them across huge volume. So the HFT firms compete to be faster than everyone else. So faster in reading the market, faster in making the decision, and faster in placing the order. So the speed is the edge here. So now let's understand step by step how really HFT works. First step is market data. Second step is signal generation. Third is order execution. Fourth is risk management. And last one is your post-trade analytics. So the first step is market data. Everything begins with the data. So what HFT firms do, they generally subscribe to the real tick by tick market data from multiple exchanges around the world, sometimes receiving millions of data points per second. So now these data include your bid ask price, order book depth, trade print, and latency timestamps. So now the faster you get and process this data, the faster your chance to beating the competitors. So the data is everything here. So this data part is managed by market data handler. Now the second step is signal generation. Once the data received, the signal generation part starts. Now the signal generation part is the brain of the operation. So what HFT firms do, they have different algorithms which analyze the incoming data to detect the short-term trading opportunities. Now these short-term trading opportunities can be anything. This can be based on price arbitrage between exchanges, or order book imbalance, or historical pattern, or market impact modeling, or even machine learning prediction. Now once this signal generation done, they turned this signal generation part into trading decision within microseconds. Now this trading decision can be buy or sell or hold the position. Now all this process will happen in just microseconds. Now the next step is order execution. So once a trade signal is confirmed, HFT systems send the order using ultra low latency routing to the exchange. They use different type of technologies for this ultra low latency routing. Now they use smart order routings, which is SORS. Some HFT firms use direct market access or DMA, or co-located server near exchange data center, or sometimes they use FPGA, or you can say hardware accelerated executions. Now the aim is very simple. The aim is to minimize the slippage and maximize fill probabilities. So this order routing from HFT systems to exchange should be happen in microseconds. All the technologies that HFT firms use for order routing, whether it is SORS or DMA or co-location or FPGA, I'm going to explain all these things in detail in my next video, which is the technology and infrastructure behind HFT. Now the next step is risk management. So it's not about the speed, it's not about the latency, it's not about only receiving the data or processing it very fast or generating the signal or ordering place. It's about risk management as well, because if you not manage your risk, then there will be a chance of huge loss. So HFT systems implement real-time risk check. Now these risk checks include exposure limit, PNL monitoring, fat finger protection, order throttling, cancel on disconnect mechanism. Now these controls run in parallel to ensure safety without sacrificing the speed. Now the last step is post-trade analytics. So here the HFT firm starts this analysis of trade once the trade has been executed. So this analytics kicks in HFT firms once the trade has been done. So this involves your trade performance, latency statistics, fill ratio, market impact, strategy, PNL. Now this data helps in refining the algorithms, improving infrastructure, and spotting inefficiencies. Let's let's take an example of HFT trading. Let's say on exchange A, Apple stock is quoted at 180 bid and 180.05 as ask. At the same time, exchange B shows a bid at 180.07. So an HFT system instantly notice this and place a buy order at 180.05 on exchange A and a sell order at 180.07 on exchange B. Within microseconds, both orders are filled and the system just made 0.02 per share. Now imagine scaling this to hundreds of symbols and thousands of shares per trade. So this is the power of HFT. Now let's talk about some metrics that matters in HFT. One of the key metrics is latency. So latency is basically the time from decision to execution. This actually measures in microseconds. Latency has to be very low. The next is throughput. Throughput is basically the number of trades processed per second. In per second, how many trades you processed. That is basically the throughput. And this number has to be really huge. The next metrics that HFT count is basically fill ratio. So fill ratio is basically your percentage of order that actually get executed. So how many trades or how many orders you place through order routing system and how many orders it's actually executed. In HFT farms, this ratio is generally more than 100:1. Now the next metrics is slippage. So slippage means difference between expected price and executed price. So the slippage has to be very low. Now the real-time PNL. Now profit and loss tracking with millisecond accuracy. The faster and more efficient these numbers, the more competitive your strategy is. So till now we have discussed about what is a HFT farms, how HFT works, what are the step-by-step procedure, how HFT farms place order, and next we discussed about one example. And finally, we discussed about what are the metrics that the HFT farms should keep in mind if they want to build a HFT systems. So now the time to discuss about what are the risks and challenges in HFT farms. First one was flash crashes. If you remember, the most famous one was on May 6, 2010. What happened? The Dow Jones drops nearly 1000 points in under 30 minutes. That due to HFT feedback floops. What happens? All algorithms in HFT farms reacting to each other, which triggered a cascade effect of sell orders. As a result, billions were wiped out just in 30 minutes. Now the next one is regulatory scrutiny. HFT farms must comply with strict rules like MiFID2, sections rules 15C35 and algorithmic trading certification. So every millisecond is logged for audit here. It's definitely not an easy game. Now the next challenge is overfitting algorithms. If an algorithm is overtrained on the past data, it may fail in the live trading. So HFT farms constantly validate strategies using walk forward analysis, out of sample test and stress testing. Now the next challenge that HFT farms generally face is hardware and software failure. Even a slight memory leak or a failed disk can create a disaster. So HFT farms deploy redundant systems, real-time monitoring and automatic failovers. They spend a huge money on their hardware and software. Now the next challenges is adverse selection. If your order are consistently picked up by smarter player, you are the one losing. So avoid trades with uniform or toxic flow is the key to staying profitable. So now you understand end to end what is high frequency trading and how it works. To wrap up, high frequency trading is not just about speed, it's about smart algorithms, powerful infrastructure, strict risk control and a constant race for microsecond level advantage. In the next episode, which is episode 3, we will cover the technology and infrastructure behind HFT. We will go deeper into the physical and digital world powering these systems, from co-location to microwave network and beyond. If you found this episode valuable, please like, comment and subscribe to stay updated as we continue this powerful HFT journey. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.